All right, so check this out. We are learning more and more about Tyler Robinson, the man accused of shooting conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. People have dug into publicly available documents, social media pages, and more to try to figure out his political beliefs, a possible motive, and things of that nature. And while federal officials have not spoken on his motive yet, some crucial pieces of information have come out in just the last couple of hours that you need to know about, especially because Republicans are online right now as we speak, spreading disgusting misinformation about this story. So we're going to dive into this article, and then later we're going to hear from one of Tyler Robinson's former classmates who spoke about going to school with him, his experiences with him, and more. But let's just start here. And without further ado, I want to dive in as quick as possible. The suspect's grandma said that Tyler Robinson's family is MAGA, that everybody around him is MAGA. She didn't speak directly to his political beliefs because, according to her, he never talked about politics with her. But she says that, yeah, the entire family is MAGA. Although MAGA figureheads have been quick to point fingers at the left for Kirk's death, Tyler's grandmother, Debbie Robinson, who's 69 years old, insisted that they come from a family of Trump supporters. She spoke with the Daily Mail today after news of Robinson's arrest broke. Quote, "My son, his dad, is a Republican for Trump. Most of my family members are Republicans. I don't know any single one who's a Democrat." So she's saying that it's a monolith in the Robinson family, that everybody is a Republican for Trump. And I think if you're describing it as that, I think it'd be kind of weird for Tyler to be an anomaly in the family and to have different political beliefs. But as it stands right now, we don't know much about his political views. According to the outlet, Robinson's father, Matt, was the one to turn Tyler into the authorities after he confessed to the crime. The grandmother continued, quote, "I'm just so confused. Tyler is the shyest person. He has never, ever spoke politics to me at all." She insisted that Robinson has never, ever gotten into trouble in his life. And additionally, according to public records, Robinson's parents are both registered Republicans. His mother, Amber Robinson, 44, is a licensed social worker. His father, Matt Robinson, runs a business installing kitchen countertops, cabinets, and stone surfaces in their home city of Washington, Utah. Both of them have held hunting licenses. A Facebook post made by Amber Robinson describes one of Tyler's brothers as a gun-toting, cowboy-loving, brilliant kid. And if you look at some of their social media posts, this is a family that really likes firearms. This is for one of his brothers, but broadly across the board, it appears that a lot of the people in the Robinson family are firearm owners. They enjoy firearms and whatnot. Tyler Robinson has previously registered as a nonpartisan voter, but according to the governor of Utah, he had become more political in recent years. He also said that Robinson told a family member that he disliked Kirk and mentioned that Kirk was coming to Utah Valley University. So all of this kind of provides some context about what we might be looking at here. Additionally, we got a photo earlier today of Tyler Robinson in 2017, reportedly wearing a Trump costume. As you can see, this is very clearly Donald Trump, and this was his costume in 2017. And I will say that, I don't think a teenager wearing a Trump costume in 2017 when he might have been 15, 16 years old is indicative of political views now, but it certainly talks about, his family's political views. And additionally, as I mentioned, this is a very pro-gun family. This is a relative of Tyler Robinson. This right here is Tyler Robinson. They had a lot of access to firearms. So it appears that this is a guy that grew up in a conservative state, a white guy that grew up in a conservative state, to a Republican family that loved firearms and more. But also there was some conflicting reporting. You might be saying, well, is this guy right-wing? According to some reporting in The Guardian, in a phone interview, one of Tyler Robinson's high school friends, who asked to remain anonymous, said that he became more extreme about political views in high school, saying that he was the only member of his family that was really leftist. So we're just getting conflicting reports here, and the Republicans have really jumped on this sentence here, and they've definitively decided that this guy's a liberal, he's a crazy Democrat, whatever. I think we are more factual on the left than they are, so I think it's still very much up in the air. There are conflicting reports here, and I have seen a bunch of misinformation circulating about this story, so I do want to take the opportunity to debunk it. This photo circulated of Robinson wearing a Trump shirt It's not real. This is completely photoshopped. This is the original photo. We talked about this picture on my channel earlier today. It looks like college move-in day for Tyler, but this is the real photo. There is not a Trump shirt. You can see them side by side. It's the same photo, and people have edited it. And, they're trying to spread misinformation online and sow division. Here's another point I saw that has been debunked. Tyler Robinson has not donated to Donald Trump. Tyler Robinson in Utah donated to Trump in 2020, but this is not the one that shot Kirk, just someone with the same name who lived down the street. So just wanted to correct these pieces of information because, again, we do want to remain factual. We are better in this instance than the Republicans are when it comes to spreading factual information. So I just wanted to take that time to do that. But yeah, conflicting reports here in terms of political beliefs. Let me know in the comments what you think it might be, because the family upbringing is completely contradictory to this statement here that he was a leftist in the family. But as I mentioned, I do want to hear from Tyler Robinson's classmate. Maybe this will give us some context as to what's going on here, how we got to this point, how Tyler Robinson got to this point. So just take a look at this clip of his former classmate talking about him.
I went to school with this Tyler Robinson kid. I'll show y'all. That's him right there, Tyler Robinson. I'm not trying to clout chase, make this shit about me, but I'm not gonna say I knew this kid really well. I didn't know him very well at all, but I definitely saw him for 3 straight years in high school. And the best way I could describe him is just like a Reddit kid. I don't know. I feel like if you were in high school around that same time, and even probably now, 2018, and then those kinds of kids, but that's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is this is the kind of shit that happens when you spend way too much time online, and all of a sudden your beliefs are all the way this way or all the way this way, and you do some dramatic shit to please these people that are not your friends.
Totally.
This internet shit is seriously no joke.
I actually really appreciate this video from him, a very mature video, might I add. And I actually agree in the sense that I think this is not necessarily a political view assassination. I think this guy, Tyler Robinson, is a victim of radicalization online. I think he, and take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This has not been confirmed by federal authorities. But based on what we've seen so far, it appears that this guy just kind of went down some dark rabbit holes on social media, as many young people unfortunately have, and became radicalized, became a crazy person. And actually, my friend Adam Mockler posted something alluding to this point, talking about this point earlier today, that I thought was just really well written. I wanted to highlight it. He said, "I'm 22 years old, the same age as Tyler Robinson, and I believe we have a bigger problem here. Young men are being radicalized by the internet at an unprecedented rate, which was only accelerated by COVID's isolation plus foreign actors trying to incentivize this type of radicalization. I've seen it happen to many of my friends. I can attest to this too. I've seen it happen to, folks I used to know. And it's really sad. Young men spending their formative years clawing back from COVID isolation, usually spending too much time in deep algorithms. Now, people are debating whether Tyler Robinson was a far leftist or a groyper. But here's the reality. It does not matter. And this is such a good point. Another young white male who looks eerily similar shot up a high school at the same time Kirk was shot, which we're going to talk about in a second. It does not matter that he was a leftist. He was only at the whims of the algorithm that was radicalizing him. That algorithm could have just as easily introduced him to Nick Fuentes, somebody that's even farther right. Half of his bullets had memes on them. This was not some ideologue who was confident in his views. And I think this is really well said. I really believe that this is not, at least from, and this can change, again, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Let's rely on factual information. But I really think this is a case of radicalization. I really believe this is somebody who just went down a dark path on the internet and became crazy. And we're seeing so much of this online right now, so much of it. And that's why, I part of the reason I do what I do, making these videos, getting online and talking about this stuff every day, because, we have to push back on it. It's so sad. And as Adam alluded to here, there was another shooting at around the time that Charlie Kirk was shot at. And the 16-year-old boy accused in this shooting embraced conspiratorial, anti-Semitic, and white supremacist social media content. Desmond Hawley reposted TikToks about the 1999 Columbine High School shooting and posed wearing a t-shirt with the word "wrath" on it, which is what shooter Eric Harris wore as he carried out the Columbine attack. But perhaps the most ominous was a post on X that an account linked to Hawley made about an hour before the shooting, a photo of a small revolver being held over a table with a box of ammunition on it. It was posted without comment. There is a real problem happening online right now with radicalization, and I hate to say it, but I think that this Tyler Robinson shooting might be another example of that. And, we don't know his political views 100%. Republicans will tell you that they know it 100%. Please don't buy into their crap. We don't know. Nobody knows. We're all just kind of speculating right now based off of pieces of information we've gotten in the media. But there's some real problems happening in the United States, and it's something that we all should keep our eyes out for. So look, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about my little rant at the end here. It's something I'm passionate about. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. Drop a like on the video. Comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.